Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to first episode of What Happened. Today we're talking about a group that had it all. Viral success, global recognition, and one of the catchiest songs in K-pop history. But then everything just fell apart. This is the story of MOMOLAND, and trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this one because this journey is wild from start to finish. Picture this, it's 2018, you're scrolling through YouTube, and suddenly you hear this infectious beat, these quirky lyrics, and you see 9 girls doing the most addictive choreography you've ever seen. BBoom BBoom was everywhere, and I mean everywhere. The song was so catchy that even people who had never listened to K-pop before were humming along. But here's the thing. Before that viral moment, MOMOLAND was just another group struggling to make it in the oversaturated K-pop market. Let's rewind to the beginning. In 2016, MLD Entertainment, the same company that would later become notorious for, well, let's just say questionable management decisions, launched a survival show called Finding MOMOLAND. Now, if you know anything about K-pop, you know that survival shows are basically a recipe for drama, tears, and occasionally really successful groups. The show featured 10 trainees competing for 7 debut spots, and honestly, it was pretty standard reality TV fare at first. The winners were Hyebin, Yeonwoo, Jane, Nayeon, Ju-e, Ahin, and Nancy. These 7 girls became the original MOMOLAND lineup, and on November 10th, 2016, they officially debuted with their mini-album Welcome to MOMOLAND and the title track Jaejan Kung Kwang. Now, let me be real with you. That debut was about as successful as you'd expect from a group coming from a relatively unknown company. The song was cute, the girls were talented, but in a market dominated by groups from the big 3 agencies, they were just another face in the crowd. But here's where things get interesting. In March 2017, MLD Entertainment made a surprising move. They added 2 more members to the group. Daisy and Taeha joined MOMOLAND, bringing the total to 9 members. Now, Daisy had actually been a contestant on the original Finding MOMOLAND show, but was eliminated. The company basically said, you know what? Let's bring her back. Which, looking back, should have been our first red flag about how this company operated. The group continued releasing music throughout 2017 with songs like Wonderful Love and Freeze, but they weren't exactly setting the charts on fire. Wonderful Love had this cute, bubbly concept that was perfectly fine, but in a year that gave us groups like Twice absolutely dominating with Signal and Likey, MOMOLAND was still very much in the background. Ju-e, one of the members, actually went viral for her enthusiastic dancing during their Wonderful Love promotions. But it wasn't enough to push the group into mainstream success. Then came January 3rd, 2018, the day that changed everything. MOMOLAND released their 3rd mini-album Great with the title track BBoom BBoom. And guys, let me tell you, this song was lightning in a bottle. Produced by the legendary Shinsadong Tiger, the mastermind behind hits like Tiara's Bo Peep, and 4 Minutes Hot Issue, BBoom BBoom was this perfect storm of retro-inspired production, incredibly catchy hooks, and choreography that was impossible not to dance along to. The song starts with this simple guitar riff that immediately grabs your attention, then explodes into this electro-swing-influenced banger with horns, a driving beat, and some of the most memorable ad-libs in K-pop history. The boom boom sound effect became iconic, and don't even get me started on that choreography. Every move was designed to be copied, from the hand gestures to Jui's absolutely legendary facial expressions during her parts. But what really made BBoom BBoom special wasn't just the song itself, it was the timing. This was January 2018, right at the beginning of the year when the K-pop landscape was relatively quiet. Most major groups were preparing for later comebacks, so MOMOLAND had the stage pretty much to themselves. And boy, did they take advantage of it. The song debuted at number 48 on the Gaon Digital chart, which was already a massive improvement from their previous releases. But then something magical happened. It kept climbing. Week after week, the song rose higher and higher on the charts until it peaked at number 2. But the real kicker? BBoom BBoom became the first girl group song to earn a platinum certification from the Gaon music chart, reaching over 100 million streams. 100 million streams, guys. For a group that had been basically unknown just months before. The international success was even more incredible. The song hit the top 5 on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart, and the music video, with its infomercial-inspired concept and the girls' infectious energy, started racking up millions of views. It currently sits at over 650 million views, which is absolutely insane when you think about where MOMOLAND was just a year prior. Suddenly, MOMOLAND was everywhere. They were getting invited to major variety shows, landing endorsement deals, and most importantly, they had created something that transcended language barriers. You didn't need to speak Korean to get hyped when BBoom BBoom came on. The song became a global phenomenon, particularly popular in the Philippines and other Southeast Asian countries. The success of BBoom BBoom completely transformed MOMOLAND from rookies to legitimate contenders in the K-pop scene. They got their first music show win, they were selling out concerts, and suddenly everyone in the industry was paying attention to what they would do next. MLD Entertainment, probably pinching themselves at their luck, immediately started planning the follow-up. In June 2018, MOMOLAND returned with BOMB from their fourth EP, Fun to the World. Now, BOMB was basically BBoom BBoom 2.0. Same Shin Se-dong Tiger production, same retro-inspired sound, same high-energy choreography. And you know what? It worked. The song peaked at number 13 on the Gaon digital chart, and the music video, with its around-the-world concept showing the members in different cultural outfits, was just as visually striking as its predecessor. The BAM era felt like MOMOLAND cementing their position as the new IT girls of K-pop. They were confident, they were having fun, and the chemistry between all 9 members seemed genuine. Nancy, the American member of the group, was becoming particularly popular internationally because of her English-speaking abilities and charismatic personality. Ju-e continued to be the meme queen of the group, and Yeonwoo was being recognized as one of the most beautiful idols in the industry. But here's where our story takes a turn, because if you know anything about the K-pop industry, you know that success can be just as dangerous as failure. The pressure that comes with viral success, the expectations from fans and companies, and the grueling schedules can break even the strongest groups. And unfortunately for MOMOLAND, the cracks were already starting to show. Throughout 2018 and into 2019, there were subtle signs that not everything was perfect in MOMOLAND land. Members started missing schedules here and there, and fans began noticing tension during live performances. Yeonwoo, in particular, seemed to be absent more frequently, with the company citing various health issues and conflicting schedules with her budding acting career. Then came the controversies. In January 2018, right after BBoom BBoom exploded, Russian girl group Cerebro accused MOMOLAND of plagiarizing their song Me Me Me. Shin Se-dong Tiger and MLD Entertainment denied these claims, pointing out that the bass line and chord progression were common in retro house and electro swing genres, but the accusations still cast a shadow over their success. More concerning were the rumors about the company's management. Fans started noticing that MLD Entertainment seemed unprepared for MOMOLAND's sudden success. The girls were appearing at events looking exhausted, their promotional schedule was chaotic, and there were whispers about unfair profit distribution and poor working conditions. Remember, this was a relatively small company that had suddenly found themselves managing one of the hottest acts in K-pop, and it showed. But the real bombshell came in November 2019. MLD Entertainment announced that not one, not two, but 2 key members would be leaving the group. Yeonwoo and Taeha were officially departing MOMOLAND. The company explained that Yeonwoo would remain with MLD to focus on her acting career, while Taeha would be terminating her contract entirely to make a new start at a new place. This was devastating news for fans, but it gets worse. The third member added in 2017, Daisy, was listed as still being in discussions with the company about her future. Translation: nobody knew what was happening with a third of the group's lineup. The way these departures were handled was messy, to put it lightly. Yeonwoo had been absent from group activities for months before the official announcement, leading to speculation and rumors. Taeha later revealed in a YouTube video that she left because she wanted to show her own musical colors and felt restricted within the group's concept. But the real tea came from what Yeonwoo would later reveal. In July 2020, Yeonwoo posted on the group's official fan cafe that her departure from MOMOLAND was not her choice. She wrote that she was essentially forced to leave and transition to acting against her will, and that she had only posted about it because she was tired of the speculation and slander she was receiving online. This was huge because it confirmed what many fans had suspected, that the company was making decisions about the members' careers without their input. But wait, it gets even messier with Daisy's situation. Throughout 2019 and into 2020, Daisy was essentially in limbo. She wasn't participating in group activities, but she also wasn't officially announced as having left. Then, in January 2020, Daisy appeared on KBS News 9 and dropped an absolute bombshell. She claimed that Finding MOMOLAND was rigged, not just a little bit manipulated, but completely fraudulent. According to Daisy, the votes were manipulated and the results were predetermined. She alleged that she was eliminated from the show as planned, but then MLD Entertainment contacted her afterward to join the group anyway. Essentially, she was saying that the entire premise of the survival show was fake, and that the company had already decided who they wanted in the group from the beginning. MLD Entertainment, predictably, denied all of these allegations and threatened legal action against Daisy. They claimed that Daisy's mother had threatened them and that there was no manipulation or cheating involved in the show. But the damage was done. Fans started questioning everything about MOMOLAND's origin story. The legal battle between Daisy and MLD Entertainment was brutal. The company demanded that Daisy pay a penalty of 1.1 billion won to terminate her contract. That's roughly $850,000. They also claimed that she owed them money for the production costs of Finding MOMOLAND. But here's the kicker. Daisy sued them right back for withholding 66 million won, about $55,000, from her earnings. In May 2020, it was finally announced that Daisy had officially left MOMOLAND. She eventually won her lawsuit against MLD Entertainment, though the company filed an appeal. Throughout this entire ordeal, Daisy remained remarkably vocal about her experiences, later revealing in live streams that she didn't leave voluntarily. She was fired. So, by 2020, MOMOLAND had gone from 9 members to 6. Hyebin, Jane, Nayoon, Ju-e, Ah-hin, and Nancy were the survivors, and they were trying to rebuild their career in an industry that had already started moving on to the next big thing. They released songs like Thumbs Up and Ready or Not, but let's be honest, the magic was gone. The remaining members tried their best to keep the MOMOLAND dream alive. They continued touring, they collaborated with international artists like Natty Natasha on Yummy Yummy Love, and they maintained active social media presences. Nancy, in particular, built a strong individual fanbase through TikTok and Instagram, where her English-speaking abilities and relatable personality attracted international fans. But the writing was on the wall. Their newer releases weren't charting like their 2018 hits. Their fanbase had shrunk significantly after the departures and controversies, and MLD Entertainment seemed to have no idea how to recapture the lightning in a bottle that was BBoom BBoom. The end came on January 27, 2023. MLD Entertainment announced that all remaining members had decided not to renew their contracts. Unlike some groups that get dramatic goodbye concerts or farewell albums, MOMOLAND's departure from the company was surprisingly quiet. The members each posted identical handwritten letters on their Instagram accounts on February 14, 2023. Valentine's Day, which was probably unintentional but felt appropriately dramatic. Their farewell message read, "After a long, deep discussion, the 6 of us members have decided to support each other to have a great new beginning going forward. We sincerely thank our beloved Marys for providing us with precious memories and being by our side for the last 7 years." And that seemed to be it. MOMOLAND was over. The group that had given us one of the most iconic K-pop songs of the 2010s, that had shown the world that viral success could come from anywhere, was gone. Their story became a cautionary tale about how quickly things can fall apart in the K-pop industry and how important proper management is when a group experiences sudden success. But here's where the story gets interesting again, because MOMOLAND's story didn't actually end in 2023. Throughout the rest of that year and into 2024, fans noticed that the members were being suspiciously coy about whether the group had actually disbanded. Ju-e, in particular, made several statements suggesting that MOMOLAND wasn't over, just on hiatus. Then, in April 2025, plot twist, it was announced that all 6 remaining members had signed exclusive contracts with a new agency called MLD Entertainment. MOMOLAND was officially reuniting for full group activities. After 2 years away from the industry, the girls who had given us BBoom BBoom were back. Now, whether this reunion will be successful remains to be seen. The K-pop landscape has changed dramatically since MOMOLAND's heyday. Fourth-generation groups like NewJeans, IVE, and aespa dominate the charts now. The viral nature of social media has evolved, and what worked in 2018 might not work in 2025. But there's something to be said for MOMOLAND's resilience. Despite everything, the member departures, the legal battles, the company mismanagement, the disbandment, they found a way back to each other. Whether it's nostalgia for their peak era or genuine belief in their potential, someone thought MOMOLAND was worth investing in again. So, what happened to MOMOLAND? They were a group that showed us that success could come from anywhere, that one perfect song could change everything overnight, but also that the K-pop industry can be ruthless to those who aren't prepared for sudden fame. They gave us one of the most iconic songs of the 2010s, but they also showed us how quickly things can fall apart when management, timing, and circumstances don't align. Their story is still being written. Maybe this reunion will recapture some of that BBoom BBoom magic, or maybe it'll be a brief nostalgia trip before they go their separate ways for good. Either way, MOMOLAND has already left their mark on K-pop history, and BBoom BBoom will forever be that song that reminds us of a time when 9 girls from a small company proved that anyone can make it in this industry, at least for a while. That's it for this episode of What Happened. What do you guys think about MOMOLAND's reunion? Are you excited to see what they'll do next, or do you think some stories are better left in the past? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of K-pop's most dramatic success stories. I'll catch you guys in the next one.